Hey everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and I wanted to start off today with this really special Western color number 8 shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. And we made 10 of these really nice looking wallets. This is actually my favorite texture that Horween offers. A really neat Western texture. Lots of nice peaks and valleys on this texture here. But we made 10 of these as a special limited release, and I put them up on the site about an hour ago, and at the time of this recording we've sold over half of them, so there might be still a chance for you to pick up one of these by the time you see this video. I hope there are some available there if you are interested in this particular wallet. So let's just take a little bit of a closer look at this really special wallet. On the outside we have color number 8 shell Cordovan, and the color number 8 is the classic shell Cordovan color, but the tannery has impressed a texture onto the back of this, and this is very much reminiscent of a lot of Western tooling, sort of tooled leathers, and they take that texture and just press it into the leather. So we get, not only do we get that great shell Cordovan aesthetic of the bright luster, great color depth, but you also get these really cool peaks and valleys in the leather itself that I really like. And again, this is my favorite texture that Horween offers. They do different things like the most famous would be the football leather, but there's also things like the Scotch grain that's also very popular. I just happen to think this is the most interesting one. And on the inside of this wallet, we've paired it nicely with some really cool color 8 reverse. We've got a Horween stamp down the middle. All of them are cut with the Horween stamp in the middle, and a Horween ink stamp in the bill slot as well. Let's just take a really quick look at how this Johnny the Fox loads up. On the back of the wallet, we have one bill slot, and this is designed to fit US dollars. And the inside of this wallet might look very familiar. It's very much a standard wallet style, and when most men think of a wallet, they think of this style with these 6 card slots on the inside. But we've put a little bit of extra work and hid some hidden slots underneath each of those 3 stacks, so there's 8 card slots total, and let's load those up. So I suggest to most people to put 2 to 3 cards in each of these slots so you can hold a considerable amount of cards in here. It also works very nicely with just one, and the point of caution I'll make is the more you start to put in, the more the leather will start to conform. So if you stretch it out and put 3 or 4 cards in each slot, and then later you want to minimize, reduce your card carry, it might have already stretched to fit the 4 cards in each slot. So you might have a hard time going from 4 down to 1 card, but the leather does conform around each of these cards the more you wear it. And moving along here, I've got some other stuff that we are shipping out today, and I wanted to start off with the color 8 shell Cordovan 2-piece watch strap. This is the same leather as that special limited release Western color 8, but without the texture. And on the 2-piece watch straps that we do, especially on the color 8 and intense blue, I like those the most because we add a little bit, again, extra work to hand stain, wax, and burnish all of the edges on our watch straps. So it gives it a really nice clean aesthetic. But what I like most about our watch straps is that they're unlined, which makes them extremely comfortable. You don't have any stitching touching your wrist. You just have the shell Cordovan, which the more you wear it, the smoother it gets and starts to conform to your wrist. It just makes for a really comfortable strap. And somebody also picked up a black shell Cordovan key fob. I really like the key fobs. I use one of these every day. Moving on here to some wallets. This is a natural Lancaster Fat Herbie, and I've been doing an experiment with this leather. I've been wearing it every day for the last 40 or so days, and this is how mine has started to wear in. It's very nice. You can see the color's slightly darkened, but what's most interesting about it to me is how the luster is starting to develop a nice little sheen to it. So it's very nice, and I'm glad that somebody else is going to try this experiment with me on a brand new natural Lancaster Fat Herbie here. And I have another really nice Fat Herbie. This is a color number 8 Chrome Excel Fat Herbie. There's only one left of these. People seem to be picking these up a few each day, and this is just a great Fat Herbie to try out, and I'm really liking the luster on this particular batch of color 8 Chrome Excel. And up next here, this is a natural shell Cordovan Frank the Enforcer. This particular piece just really strikes me as very nice. I like the luster on this one. Just has a really bright and shiny luster, and the color itself, that natural shell, is very, very nice. I like how it ranges from this sort of lighter tan shade at certain angles, and then when you tilt it, it gets a little bit more brown, and I just think that's a really fun way to experience the leather. The best part about the natural shell is the more that you wear it, the more interesting the patina becomes. The color starts to deepen, darken, turns a little bit more golden brown. The leather will conform to whatever you put in it, but also it starts to develop these really neat layers of luster. You can see it starts off bright and shiny, but what happens is the more you wear it, it starts to develop a luster from underneath. So you get these really neat layers of luster that I just think are amazing. Up next here, this is a Bugs Moran, also in that classic color number 8 shell Cordovan. And color number 8 is the dark brown with a lot of burgundy undertones to it. Depending on what angle you look at it, it looks a little bit more burgundy, a little bit more purple than other angles, but this is the classic shell Cordovan color. And I think it's classic for a reason. You can just see how sleek, how nice that shade is. And especially in this Bugs Moran, I really like how this fits perfectly in your hand. I just think the form factor on the Bugs is perfect. And I have one more Bugs Moran for you today. This is a color number 4 Bugs Moran, and the shell Cordovan leather, of course. But the color number 4 is roughly half the darkness of the color 8. This is more of a medium brown with reddish tones to it. And depending on what angle you look at it, more of those red, orangey shades come out a little bit more prominently, and other angles is just more of a brown shade. But let's compare this with the color 8. So here's that Western color 8 Johnny the Fox, and compared to the color 4, you can see the tones are much different. The color number 4 is a lot lighter, a little bit less purple, a little bit more orange and red. And I have a few different Johnny the Fox to show you today. This is also a color number 4 shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. I do really like this color number 4 shade. For the longest time, for about a decade, the color number 4 was my absolute favorite shell Cordovan color. And on the inside of this Johnny the Fox, we have a really nice reverse interior. I like how the reverse interiors are coming out recently, all the random dye stains. Just everything about it is super cool, and probably the best part is you get to see a little bit more of that Horween ink stamp that people often like. And we have another color number 4 shell Cordovan item today. It seems to be popular today, but this is a color number 4 shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. You can really see those orangey red tones coming underneath the color of the color number 4. Again, certain angles, a little darker, and then you can see a little bit more of that orangey red from underneath. The difference between this wallet and the last one is the interior. And on this you can see we've paired it nicely with the horsehide interior. And this is a color called Mock, which I believe is a shortened color name for moccasin. And it's just sort of a light sand color. What I like about the horsehide interiors is it makes the wallet much thinner. The horsehides are made just for us by Horween to be very thin, specifically thin, because we have so many different layers of leather for the inside of this wallet that if we just use regular stuff, the wallet just gets a little bit too bulky and a little too thick. For that reason, I often prefer the horsehide interiors on our Johnny the Fox. And up next here, this is a black Dublin Johnny the Fox, but this one we've got a color combination going on. This is a teal latigo interior, that horsehide that we use just with a different dye. It's a really cool teal color that's like a light aqua blue with a little bit more green to it. But I really like the color combination of this black and teal. This has been a hit since we released it a couple years ago. I think we've made a few thousand of these, which is just crazy to think about. And recently I switched the black leather on the outside. We used to do black chromexol on the outside, but I've fallen in love with the black Dublin leather. And I've made a decision to switch all of our black non-shell leather to the black Dublin because I just think it has incredible grain character. I just think this is the best black leather you can get. Oftentimes the black leathers you see around the world, if you just go to a department store or something, the black leathers often look really fake. They look a lot more like finish and paint than they do leather. And I think the Dublin, because it's a natural full grain veg tan leather, it just makes for the best black around. And especially with that teal on the inside, just gives a really cool look. And last up today, this is another one that sort of stunned me. This is an English tan Dublin Johnny the Fox. And I really, really like the Dublin, both on the black, like I just showed you a second ago, but also this English tan. The English tan is a nice orange tan shade. And when you crease it and flex it, you can see a little bit more of the lighter, sort of yellowy tones coming from underneath. What's actually happening is that the Dublin leather is finished with a hard wax finish on the surface, which gives us this really cool burst effect when you flex and crease the leather. It's kind of like the pull-up effect on the chromic salt, except on the Dublin, we're not seeing the waxes and oils move around, we're just seeing a displacement of the wax layer on the surface. So I really, really like this John the Fox. So much natural character to this specific one. And on the inside, again, we've paired that nicely with the mock horsehide interior. So thanks so much for checking everything out today. Really like the Dublin leathers here. We got the English tan, we got the black Dublin. Big fan of that leather. But also thanks for supporting us with this really cool and limited release of the Western color number 8 shell Cordovan John the Fox. I'm not expecting these to be up too long because we did only make 10 of them. So if you're looking to get one of these and you see it up for sale, this strikes your fancy, I would not wait on this one. I would expect it to be sold out by tomorrow. So thanks again for checking everything out. If you have any questions, I'm here for you, so please don't hesitate to let me know. And until next time, have a good one.